All club officials and members. I formally call the 1112th regular meeting of the Rotary Club of Calcutta Metro City to order. Welcome all members and all guests. In the beginning, as is our custom, I would request Rotarian Preetham. Preetham, are you here? Preetham, would you please help us out by reading out our 4-way test so that we
Sure, President. Thank you.
meeting? Yes.
So
Thank you.
I'll read out the 4-way test of Rotary. It's of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So that's the 4-way test of Rotary. Thank you. And back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
President Amrita. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Okay. The minutes of the previous meeting have already been circulated. Members, may I ask you whether we can take them for being confirmed? The minutes of the 1111th regular meeting. Do we take it as confirmed?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. That being confirmed, I would now request Club Secretary, Rotarian Arundhati Nayak. Arundhati, if you're there.
Yes, I'm here.
Arundhati?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to conduct? Yes, please conduct the club meetings. Your
Thank you,
club,
President.
acknowledgements and everything.
Thank you, President. To begin with, we extend wedding anniversary greetings to Malika and Rotarian Sandeep Kar for 17th August. Birthday greetings to Rotarian Shankar Das for 19th August. And birthday greetings to past President Rotarian Shyamashree Sen for the 28th August. We confirm the receipt of bulletins from Rotary Club of Behala, Chandigarh Midtown, New Baliganj, Garden Reach, and Salt Lake Metropolitan Kolkata. We have a joint project with the children of Patipupur Holy Shri Vidyalaya, 3 SK Dev Road, Kolkata 48, on 15th of August 2022, which is tomorrow, with the Rotary Club of Calcutta Amory on the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, celebrating the Independence Day. And the next RM is on the 27th of August on Zoom at 7:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Secretary. Arundhati, again, on behalf of all the other club members as well, I extend heartiest greetings to Rotarian Shundip Kaur and Malika for the 17th of August, and of course Rotarian Shankar Das for the 19th of August, and of course past President Shyamashree Sen for the 28th of August. A very happy birthday. Like Arundhati just said, we have a very important event tomorrow, coming up tomorrow. Early morning, all of us are congregating at the Patipupur Holy Shri Vidyalaya. This is a school where we shall be felicitating Colonel Supriya Bhattacharya. And this being the 75th Independence Day, we are calling this the Amrit Mahotsav. In Indian parlance, Amrit is the 75th anniversary. So it's a very important day for all of us. I would request all members to please be present, as many of you as you can. Beyond that, moving on, I would like to update you on the events that we've just conducted. There have been two very successful events that we conducted. The first one was under the aegis of our Rotary clubs of the GCELT. That was a vaccination camp, a COVID booster vaccination camp that was conducted in partnership with the R&T Board hospitals. This was conducted on the 2nd of August. Around 102 people got vaccinated. These are people from lesser privileged backgrounds who cannot afford the booster dosage. So they have been administered free booster doses. They were taken by our very energetic Rotary actors over to the R&T hospital in Mukundapur, and that is where this entire project took place, and the doses were administered. This was on the 2nd of August. Beyond that, we had another very successful project with our RCC. With our RCC, we had this health checkup and thalassemia awareness program in Koshba. This our RCC conducted this in Haltu Koshba. This Moitri Shangho Club, with the Moitri Shangho Club. We propose to conduct more vaccination camps with them as well. We are in the talks. The dates have to match. Once that happens, we're going to go ahead with more, important such health-related projects with them in the near future. So that was about, work done till now. Now we are coming to the highlight of today's program. We are all aware that our PDG, our club PDG, that's why we always refer to her as our PDG, Rotarian Shyamashree Sen. She is recently back from USA, and where she had a very rewarding and informative time that she spent there getting to know more. She already knows a lot about Rotary and to the kind of a future that Rotary envisages for us. But this has been an even more invigorating session for her. So we have invited her over today to share her experiences with her. So I would request PDG Rotarian Shyamashree Sen to please share her insights with us. Shyamashree.
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everybody, and thanks to those who have come into our club's meeting this evening. It's nice to see all of you. I'm going to not really talk a lot about, Jennifer's plans and programs, because they are all much discussed. They have been, spoken about and discussed, and especially at the trainings, this has happened. So, Shubhajit, you can stop highlighting me, please. I get a bit, yeah, thank you. It was very exciting to know that Jennifer had been named the first woman RI president of Rotary International. But I knew that, she would probably be the first one, because when I first met her, I was immediately very warmed up to her, because she seemed to be like a person who knew what she wants to do and who had so much energy, so much, she was all the time jumping around when I first met her. And I'll tell you how this all happened. I'm really grateful to past Rotary International Director, Dr. Bharat Pandya, and incoming RI Director, Raju Subramanian, for suddenly telling me that, Shyamashree, you will have to be aide to Jennifer, to a lady. So I was a bit worried. Who is this lady? Is she from India? Where is she from? And then I was told that, no, you can guess. So when they was juggling with me about who is going to be the person that I'll be aide to, I just guessed, and I said, is it Jennifer Jones? And they were very surprised. They said, how did you know? Did you know that she was on the, the panel of trainers who are coming for our institute? I said, no, I didn't know. But somehow I felt it could be Jennifer. And yes, that was her. Unfortunately, it was in December and the weather was very bad. She was stuck in New York and I was stuck in Indore waiting for her to come. It took me more than 24 hours to be able to meet her. And she she just came into the city of Indore and almost flew into one of the training sessions. And I was like trying to run behind her. Her energy is like unbelievable. And when I told her that I'm supposed to carry your bag, she said, impossible. How old are you? very openly. So I told her my age and she said, okay, you're older than me, so may I carry your bag? And I said, you want me to be sent back home for breaking all rules? I cannot do this. So that was how the friendship kind of sparked on. We seem to be thinking very alike in most ways. And some of the ways was, why are there so few women? And especially, why are there so few women on top? And why isn't Rotary thinking about, more ladies to get a leadership position in their district, in their club, and then beyond? And I would always tell her, you know what, I hope you're the first woman president because you have age on your side and you have a lot of energy. And she would say, oh, let's die. I don't know about that kind of thing. So 3 days passed, 3 or 4 days, just passed like a whirlwind. It used to start with me running to her room to make her wear a sari. And where I can't keep a sari for 12 hours in the same spot, she was spot on. Like she would wear the sari at 9 in the morning, and at 10 o'clock when we would, take her to her room and take off all the pins, she was perfectly in shape, and she would dance with the sari on and all. She was like so comfortable. And these are the times when this particular picture, I tied the sari for her, and I was amazed. But she told me that she's already worn saris and she likes wearing them. So I was very thrilled. I'd never imagined that a lady from Canada would know how to even don a sari. There are more very funny stories. So time flew literally, and she quoted a session where she spoke on continuous learning is a must for regional leaders. I didn't know that I was going to become a regional leader very soon after, but I listened to her speech and she spoke about sharing public image, as most people don't know who we are and what we do. And she said that regional leaders must also include Rotaractors in the image building, add more women members, and ensure flexibility of clubs in conducting their weekly meetings. She said you shouldn't have boring meetings, you should have some fun in your meetings. And the moment immediately came when we really got to know each other. She had a sunny smile, a spring in every step she takes. Jennifer became a friend for life the moment we met. And we had long chats into the night. And one scary thing that happened was one evening we had a chat, and she went back to take her, to rest. And suddenly she calls me. It was about past 10 o'clock. And she said, are you still in your sari or have you changed into nightwear? I said, no, I'm just pottering around. I'm still, you want something? Do you want me to come to your room? She said, no, past RI President Ravi Ravindran wants you to go to his room. I said, what? I'm very scared of him. I'm not going. She said, no, I'm also going. So you just wait in your room. I'm coming to take you. You have to come. I said, why? I mean, like I was very scared. And then she said, it's just for plain chat. It's not got any Rotary stuff. So then I went, and both the past Rotary International President Ravi Ravindran and his wife were extremely kind hosts. And before we knew, their room was filled with people from all over, and everybody was having a great time and having a drink or chatting. And it was absolutely non-Rotary. So it was like a different angle. And then later when we were going back to our rooms, Jennifer said, were you still scared of him? I said, no, but whenever I see him, I feel a bit scared because I think he's going to ask some very difficult Rotary questions. So the next time I met Jennifer was when we had the centennial in Calcutta. Rotary Club of Calcutta completed 100 years, and a big program happened. This particular picture is when she was leaving Calcutta. I was asked to take her to the airport. So we met again, and this time on stage, because I was not her aide. Somebody else was her aide. and I was on stage talking, and she actually broke all rules, and she gave me a very warm hug on stage, which kind of baffled everybody. And, it was like, oh, you're eating into our work time. So I then asked her very quietly that Sylvia Whitlock, the first woman ever to become a Rotary member, woman member, and a Rotary president of a club, and said, she's here in Calcutta, and would you like to meet Sylvia? And she said, oh my God, of course I want to meet her, because I just got the Silver Whitlock Award. So I said, fine, Rotary Club of, that's the two of them. So they are very close to each other. So Sylvia got to know that Jennifer was in Calcutta, and I also informed her, and she said, okay, I'm going for the Rotaract District Conference. Will you be able to pick me up from there? So she had an aide, and her aide was absolutely obstinate. No, we cannot change programs. She has to stay in the Rotaract conference. We are not going to allow Jennifer to go anywhere. And she had two guests, two Rotarians. One was Brian Rush, and one was their incoming district governor, Aruna. Aruna is from 6400, and she's just completed her governor's time. So she said, no, we'll all go. And the aide also had to come along with us. And of course, when she met Sylvia and she saw the relationship between Jennifer and Sylvia, she was totally, like very happy that she also made it. And she did meet, because Sylvia is an institution for us. And she was very, very, very moved. And I saw the relationship between the two ladies, and I could make out that, these are the strong women of Rotary. Of course, we also had Deepa Willingham, now Deepa Biswas, and she and Sylvia are the two UN awardee women from our Rotary International. So it was great to meet these people, and it was a great afternoon in my life that I was able to do this. And then finally, her aide had to go home, and I ended up dropping her back, and she didn't even have a printout of her ticket. So because her aide forgot about it all, so then she told me, do you have hotspot? Now, I am very technologically unsavvy. I said, here's my phone and I'm unlocking it, and you find all the things you want. So she just took the hotspot, and then she took out her phone and she found her ticket. And then she said, okay, now I have the ticket saved, so it's all right. So that's Jennifer. She doesn't get hassled about anything, and she's not a demanding person at all. You can see her bag, such a tiny bag. We Indian women carry a huge suitcase. I feel ashamed now. And very, capable of taking care of herself. Then came a situation in our country and in our neighboring countries when we had a terrific cyclone called Amphan, and it had hit our city pretty much, and my club members will know about it. It was a powerful, catastrophic tropical storm that caused widespread damage to the state of Odisha, West Bengal, and then to Bangladesh, by which time it had quite depleted. But this whole thing happened from 16th to 21st of May, 2020. More than 128 lives were lost, and damages were worth about $13.7 billion. So you can imagine the extent. And I was at home that day alone, not really alone. I had one helping hand in my house who stayed with me, because we all heard that this storm is going to be very strong. And there was I feel this was my most frightening day of my life, with the wind howling, and I was recording the howling of the wind and sending it to my daughter, and she was in USA, and she was saying, I'm feeling very scared. I don't know how to help you. So we were also very scared. And then it started raining, and somehow from the roof of my house, the water started seeping down the staircase, and we were like carrying buckets and taking out the water. It was terrible. and I could hear trees falling and, plant pots dropping like, I don't know what. And the wind was getting stronger and stronger. And then the electricity went off. It's most scary. It was like a ghost story coming true in my life. And I hardly slept. But when the morning came, things had calmed down a bit. And I found that there was still some power on my cell phone. And there was still no electricity. So Brian Rush, who is a very close person to Jennifer, he had invited me for a meeting, online meeting. And I had no idea that Jennifer was going to attend this meeting. But I entered the meeting and through my cell phone because nothing else was working. And they were all talking. And then Brian told me, oh, Shyamashree, you're here. And he calls me Pinky, actually, because that's an easier name to call me. So I said, yeah, I'm here. I managed because my cell phone is still, I didn't use my cell phone yesterday, so it's still working. So and before I could finish talking, Jennifer started screaming, I've been thinking about you so much. I mean, it's just that she is like that. If she knows a person and she knows that there is a situation in that person's life, she is all, she said, I entered the meeting and I was hoping I could find you or I would start searching for you. Are you okay? This, that. So I told her that a whole tree had been uprooted from my house. These were the scary things that happened. I explained, and everybody kept on saying, that we hope that it all gets stopped and everything becomes okay and whatnot. It was so nice that I think that she's genuinely a very loving and a very friendly human being. And that is what probably is going to change the course of things in this particular year. And we often speak to each other on Messenger or through phone calls. When the Synergy Alliance group, which is the first one in Southeast Asia, which was started by PDG Zakaria, he suddenly one day called me up and he said, I know you're very close to Jennifer, so she's going to be our speaker. Will you moderate all the question answer session? So I was so excited. Once more, I get to, interact with her. And interacting with her means after the program, she would definitely call me and we would have a long chat. So I've learned a lot from her because she is a very positive human being. And whenever I feel worried about something or I think things are not going right, she's always there and she's always very supportive. So there was a cultural program in District 3262, which is in Orissa and a bit of Madhya Pradesh. And Jennifer was to appear online. She was invited as a chief guest. And this was a cultural program that they were having. Suddenly, it was about 5 or 5:30 in the evening. I see that the messenger phone is ringing. I said, who's calling me on Messenger? And then I see it's Jennifer. She's wearing a sari, but she's wearing it not quite right because we take our sari from the right to the left. And hers was from the left to the right. And she said, I have to enter this meeting in 2 minutes. Am I all right? So I told her, you're all wrong, but you look all right. So it doesn't matter. Just wear it. They'll be very happy you're wearing a sari. This is the kind of, little things which make you understand that, okay, she treats you as a real good friend. So she said, should I now turn it over? I said, no, because in many places they wear it that way. Don't worry. And then she really enjoyed the program. And then later on, she told me, they were so appreciative of my apparel. And they said, oh, so nice, you're wearing a sari and all that. I said, it really was not any matter to them that you were not wearing it the right way. So when I first heard that, yes, ultimately she has become the first woman to become an RI president. And I don't know how to express it, but I was extremely excited. And that's more because she is not the kind of person who will get overly excited about this. She gets more excited when she meets a lot of Rotarians, and she can do anything. Like at different institutes, I've seen she can dance to music, she can jump around. And recently when we met her, I asked her, I wish I had taken the picture of her in her purple dress with the purple sneakers. So I told her, why the sneakers? And she said, I didn't want to wear very high heels. Those are for formal meetings, but running around from one place to the other, and it was a very tight schedule. I knew that if I had to run around on high heels, I would not feel good. And then since purple is one of her colors, she said, somehow I managed to get a pair of purple sneakers and it kind of worked. Someone recently said, and I quote, she's just amazing. She's a rock star, unquote. The common refrain about Jennifer is, and again I quote, she makes everyone feel special. That's why everyone feels like they are best friends with Jen. And that is so true, unquote. So true. A little bit about Jennifer, her background. She was born in Windsor, Ontario, and save for a few post-college years working in the Turks and Caicos Islands and Manhattan, she has lived almost her whole life in Windsor, Ontario. She was the eldest of 3 children and ran lemonade stands to earn money to give to charity. And she remembers organizing a carnival in her family's yard to benefit children with muscular dystrophy. She is now married to Dr. Nick Rajcic, who is the district governor nominee of their district 6400, and they don't belong to the same Rotary Club. Her parents, brother and sister-in-law are Rotarians, and she has another brother who is quite friendly with me, Darren Jones, and he's the one who created a painting that inspired Jennifer's presidential theme, Ties and Scars. Jennifer started her own television production company in her late 20s, wowing bank officials with her business plan, negotiating a lease and investing in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. In 1996, she started her business, Media Street Productions. She served as president of her Rotary Club of Windsor, Roseland, as president in 2001 and 2. She would ask someone to speak on why he or she was important in the club at every meeting. And that's why everyone came to the meetings, because they wanted to know who's going to be the next speaker, who's going to speak next week, And she says that this taught her a lesson about the importance of taking care of members. And that is one thing that she's been telling everyone. She says, don't take an exit poll when members leave. Instead, ask the members when they join what they want, what is their liking, because you need to, embrace them and make them a part of your club by doing, being able to do things which they like, not just giving, lectures to them about this is done and that is done, because people have their own wishes. She became district governor very early in 2007-8, the first woman governor in her district. And she was really at that point of time under 40. In 2009, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Yet she went to speak at the International Assembly in January 2010, wearing a wig because she'd lost all her hair. She had 8 rounds of chemotherapy and 21 rounds of radiation. Despite all this, her ability to inspire is beyond even the most youngest of women. She has that capacity, and her theme, Imagine Rotary, was something that I expected it would be something like this, because this fits her to the T. She says you cannot imagine yesterday, but you can imagine tomorrow. So she wants all of us to use our imagination while we are doing our work in Rotary so that one day people will say that, yes, we imagined and we put it to practice. Her most favorite theme is, of course, diversity, equity, and inclusion. She hopes that in her year, she can increase the number of women in Rotary to 30%. I think India is doing very well. We are already over 27%. And embracing change in the sense of new club models, which Tom Gump is doing a great job of it, and in engaging members. The other things she says she will continue about membership. She will, as Shekhar had given the clarion call of increasing membership, which is a must for Rotary to survive. Secondly, she is a supporter of the women-related projects and programs. She has given a very big support to the Rotary Action Group for menstrual health and hygiene. And I don't want to, start sounding like very, like I'm giving a lecture about what Jennifer wants to do, because most of us know it's been published in every magazine that is possible, and all the WhatsApps that come, we know what her plans and hopes are. And I see that her presidential, those award matters and all those things are pretty nice. Coming to our visit to one Rotary Center, I mean, like my husband always laughs at me that Chicago and Evanston seem to be my Makkah Medina, but what to do? 28 years in Rotary, and if I don't fall in love with the headquarter, I'm not quite right there. So it was, Jennifer and I, we met at, we didn't meet at Houston, but we wrote to each other all the time, because she was all the time, so busy with people and running from one point to the other. I saw her 2 or 3 times running, so I didn't want to go and intercept, but we used to write messages to each other. And she said, no, you cannot go back to India without meeting me, so we will meet. But I'd quite given up hope, because she had a long visit to our part of the world at a point of time. So I thought maybe she won't have time. Then one fine day, she sends me a message that all of you please come to One Rotary Center at 4 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday. And I know that for sure that Saturday is a holiday for One Rotary Center. So I said, is she all right? So I asked her once, are you sure that you're calling us at One Rotary Center on Saturday? She said, yeah, 4 o'clock. And we reached, my husband, who's here, Shunondo, then my son-in-law, Janet, and daughter, Sundrita. They are also Rotarians. I don't think they're on this call. We all went off and we reached Evanston, and I have never seen a Rotary International president standing at the foyer of One Rotary Center to welcome an ordinary Rotarian like us, me and my family. But there was Jennifer, and we looked at our watches and it was 2 minutes to 4. So for once, we were on time, and what a welcome. And the hug took, I think, more than 5 minutes, and then introductions. And there was, of course, the first gentleman of Rotary, Dr. Nick. He was there, and he kept on repeating, oh, Indian sister, Indian sister. And I was like, yeah, we are sisters. And it was surprising. I didn't know that all the exhibit part of Rotary has come down to the ground floor. So that's how it was. And it all, she took us on a tour of all those places. I didn't send those photographs because most of the Rotarians have seen what it is like, but it's all like they have in the ground floor, they have all the 2 rooms which are dedicated to what it was like on the first day of the first meeting of Rotary Club of Chicago. So all those things were shown by her and all that. And then she even showed us the restrooms where the doors have pictures of toilets from different parts of the world, which are not at all hygienic or not at all what we want people to have. And it is, I was very moved because she was very insistent that the men also come into the ladies' toilet, because she probably never gone to the men's, but the men had gone to the men's with Dr. Nay. And there also the doors had the same pictures, photographs. And it just says, it just makes you suddenly feel that you live a life of privilege. And this is a reminder that you need to make more toilets for people in these places so that they live a better life. And then she took us upstairs, and of course, I shouldn't discuss this, but we enjoyed some wine, which they had brought, and then all these photographs. She also made me sit, but I didn't give that picture. She said, you have to sit on the presidential chair. I really didn't want to sit there, but this is the boardroom. And this was one of those rooms downstairs, the first picture that was shown. And we had a very good conversation, and people really enjoyed going around the top 2 floors with all the exhibits that are there. I was excited about the polio exhibit and things like that. And there is a computer where you make a pledge. So both Chunando and I made 2 pledges for the year, and those were shown on the big screen and saved. So those kind of lot of interesting stories, talk, and getting to know each other. And then finally she said that we have planned to have dinner with you. For an Indian, a dinner is after 8 p.m. But over there, dinner is by 6 o'clock. So we walked down to a restaurant nearby where she had, and Dr. Nick had, or reserved tables for us. And then we had a very good meal and a lot of talking. And it was very nice. It was like, I think I felt as if we were 2 families who've grown together, but it was such a, I mean, it was so kind. 4 hours almost with an RI president, spending that kind of time with just a family of ordinary Rotarians is, I think, I've never seen. And what I felt was she was so genuine. She and her husband is very quiet, very friendly, and he got along very well with my kids because he's also a foodie and he likes to eat good food. So they were discussing all those places in Chicago where they can go and eat and drink good stuff. And he said, oh, when we come back, we will get in touch with you and we will go to all these places and things like that. So it was like I don't know, I just felt it was like a dream. And when Shubhajit asked me, he said, I have already said you're going to talk. I said, but I don't know. I mean, what will I talk? I'll get very emotional. And even now that she came to India and she got married again for her anniversary over here. So we've been exchanging notes. And then recently she said, she wrote to me that, yes, I've been to Pakistan also and Abu Dhabi. And now I'm going to Bangladesh. And then when she went to Bangladesh, she wrote back that, yes, I enjoyed my time in Bangladesh. So it's nice to be in touch with Jennifer and to know that she's fine, because her schedule is very hectic, and right now she's back in Chicago and then she goes home for a couple of days and then again she starts traveling. She says that if I don't go around and see all the districts and all the projects that are happening, I wouldn't know what's happening. So I prefer to do that. So I quite liked it. I mean, instead of going to heads of states and all those kind of big things, if you go, if a person feels that I would rather go and see the projects that are happening in the districts, I feel that is exactly how we women think. We want what's happening to be known to us. So Thank you for your patient hearing. When I start off, I don't stop. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Nagjyoti, how are you?
I'm fine, literally very happy to join this meeting, and so many things I come to know about you and our RI president. And literally, we are here in India. I never gone, but the thing is, I am feeling the pleasure here, through you.
Yes.
So glad I have spreaded all this flyer everywhere, and I'm seeing all over the world. Everyone is joining. Thank you for joining, Dominica. Thank you joining, Michael. Thank you joining everyone.
Thank you so much, really, all of you.
Any of the other members have a question for PDG? Yes, indeed. We were living, your experiences with every word that you spoke. It was like, the same thing was happening to us, the way you recounted your experiences. And we are indeed so grateful to the RI president for, making India a sister. By calling you an Indian sister, she's actually called India a sister.
I
We are
forgot
so grateful.
I forgot to tell you all that before I left India, one day I got a parcel, and it had a tie and a scarf and 2 pins, the 2 theme pins, and they had come from Jennifer. So when we went to her to the headquarters, she told me, I've already sent you, but I'm going to give your son-in-law and your daughter. So she gave them also.
Beautiful.
Literally, after
Nagjyoti, what did you say?
all these things, literally want to join the next convention.
Yeah, true enough. No, and the real painting of the scarf, which is printed as the scarf, that painting is hanging in her office. And she's got some amazing things in her office, like there's one, somebody has gifted it to her, the next 2 lines of Imagine. You may say, I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. That's right at the back of her table, so she actually said, this is what I feel like. And all of us are. We are all dreamers. If we are in Rotary, we are all dreamers, and we are not the only ones. It's only when we dream that we can do what we are doing.
So what was the impression of past President Shyamashree Sen? I think we also spent a good time with our RI president.
Unmute.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, wonderful experience. That's all I can say. I mean, from the time she and Nick received us at the ground floor near the entrance and taken us on a lovely tour of the one center, it was unbelievable. And then, of course, at the end of it all, when the wine bottles were opened and we said cheers to each other, that was the best part of the tour. I couldn't imagine it coming from the RI president. So that was wonderful.
I think that is the diversity she was talking about.
Yeah, diversity. I think Rotary is in very good hands with her, in my opinion, because the way she is looking at Rotary and what she plans to do during her year, I'm sure she's going to achieve a lot of things that she has in mind. This Imagine thing is really catching on. And that's the beauty of Jennifer. Very simple person and very grounded. Wonderful experience. And I hope if people do get a chance to go to Chicago and go to one Rotary Center while she's still in office, I'm sure you all will come back very impressed with her. She's so good.
And another thing is that I was thinking about this a lot, is that, she is like that with everybody. Like anyone who comes and reaches out to her and talks to her, she comes as if she's known you for a long time. It's I've seen many of our past RI presidents, they are a bit, like serious, and her first plus point is that she's always smiling.
She's a
Even if
PR
she has
person. I think that's the reason.
yeah,
That's the
public
reason.
relations.
She's
Yes,
a PR
she
person.
knows. She knows. And that is another a very interesting thing. She has put in almost 30 rotor actors into her committees. And her public image committee's chair is a rotor actor. And I've got a photograph with him because he came to our RLI breakfast. So I met him, and there's another girl, she's also on the committee. She's giving so much respect to the youngsters because she feels that youth power is something that is going to fuel Rotary. And since they have decided that Rotaract is another membership form, so they want, like she is very gung-ho with the kids, with youngsters. And she doesn't have any kids of her own, so she loves, youngsters a lot and all that. And I think that that's a very new way of, and it's not just I've given your name and put your name on the roster. It's like you are there, so now you work. So what happens is the young people get very enthusiastic about all this, and they do the work, and they're very serious about all this. So it's very, very, like, she's really triggered off the woman power and the youth power a lot. Anand, you were trying to ask me a question. Go ahead.
Basically, hearing from you, it's really inspiring. And again, I start imagining whether someday I can go to one center, and if not Jennifer, maybe the next president, because by the time I go, the year might change. But definitely, it's very inspiring.
But the next president is also an excellent human being.
Yes,
Gordon McKinley, I met him personally. He's so sweet, so nice, very nice. And he and Jennifer and Shekhar, they were very close to each other. They really had a good time together.
Again, 24-25, we'll have a woman president.
Yes.
Yep.
That's good. Good.
After that, there's going to be a long, wait, I feel, because after every 3 years, there's an American president. So the lady who has come, she's from Pennsylvania, but I doubt that after that, there's going to be anyone in a hurry. I don't think so.
Maybe India will get again a chance.
Yeah.
You are there.
Me? No, thanks. I'm very old.
No, why not?
Not all this. No. I'm no good. No. I'm happy being an EPNC, nothing more.
It was really nice hearing you about your experiences there, your family visits, your personal visits, and your visit to one center.
The
Really,
Houston,
I can also try to go someday.
At the Houston convention, I didn't think much about the convention. I mean, the quality of speakers or the kind of speakers they brought. We've already heard them. Like Kailash Satyarthi came to Calcutta, and he said the same stories. So, those kind. And then they had too much of dancing, punching. People were getting tired. And what happened is, in the end, on the last day, Shudeep came up to me, and he was sergeant at arms, and he said, "Where's your mask?" I said, I was feeling very tired sitting with the mask. So I just took it off. He says, just keep your mask on because already 6 people have got COVID. So I got a bit scared, but then I thought 11,000 people. So what is 6 people? It's not much. And then we got, all of us who had attended, we got an email, proper questionnaire about how were you after the convention? Did you get fever? Did you have a cold or cough? Did you get COVID? Last question. So mine was all no. But I believe almost 90% of the board got it. So it was like a lot of people got COVID, and in America, they're still having a lot of COVID. Also here, I believe.
Yeah.
One of my friends told me today was her birthday. She's in Delhi and she said, I'm lying in bed with COVID. So it's not
Polio is
gone.
coming back in states.
Yeah, it's very strongly in US.
That's not good news.
Yeah. So many people, but 11,000, I think, was the least number of people. But what I liked about the convention were the breakout sessions. They were fantastic. Super speakers and very good topics. I attended all the polio and the DEI ones and some of the new membership models, Tom Gump and all. I liked them. They were very good.
Toronto 2018 was over 22,000.
Yeah, when I went to Los Angeles in 2008, it was 60,000. So they had 2 sessions of inauguration.
Yeah.
People are scared now to go and be in a crowded place.
Correct. And when you provide the video facility of watching it on the screens, sitting at your own home or office, I mean, it's better to
Like
avoid.
I'm planning to skip Melbourne because